God, sorry.
Everyone get that? Although in the back row. Oh, you know what? I will need, I have the data of the number of people on each list. Right. You know what, Catherine's gonna be on as well. Yeah, we pretty fast reading from this. Yeah, I don't know what the stocking thing is in. Which is the same as a Wi-Fi hotspot or no?
No.
It's not, right? So Wi-Fi available. Auto. I saw a Wi-Fi, so. Yeah, I mean, if you can. Are you on a Wi-Fi hotspot or?
I'm still trying to connect to the meeting, but
Oh,
I
you are.
can try to connect.
Let's move the setting via.
Hello, how are you?
Good, this is for the lottery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I think one is. Do I have to just get my phone then?
Well, if you have a hotspot, can you turn it on there and go to available? Everything go to connect to line. Do it on your phone if you ever want to. Mine?
You have an iPhone,
I do have an iPhone, but I don't know what
Set up-
yours.
set a personal hotspot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Word processors and processes.
Okay. So it should be connected to mine. But the question is, does it have- It's connected.
And Catherine's gonna be on at home.
Yeah. 6:01, so I think I'll just
Yeah,
get started, huh?
what do you need me to do?
Keep working on it. If you get on the internet, great. If not,
Okay.
so be it. I can only see. Hello, everyone. This is the lottery for Union 346 in Somerville. We got a few folks here at the high school where we're doing this, and also I see that folks are coming into the online presentation. We're just navigating a few quick technical things, and we'll be getting started in just a second here. So be patient, and we will get started up. Thank you. I can't see all the different people. Hey, Bri, do you know? Yeah, I should be able to see. Right, but if they raise their hand and stuff, I need to be able to see that.
Wait, click on participants at the bottom.
Yeah,
And then,
there we go.
yeah,
Okay.
and then you can say who's in.
Okay, folks, so I see a hand raised already. Sorry, I'm going to do my best to address both audiences. We have people on the webinar and in person. I'll take a few quick questions. As folks have already done, if you're on the webinar and you want to ask a question, please do use the hand raising function, or you can use the Q&A function. Please don't just speak up. We could have, if we do it that way, multiple people might chime in. So Simone Mathis has a question. So Simone, go ahead. I've allowed you to unmute. Simone?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't mean to press the button. I was just making sure things was functioning, but thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, it works. Good. All right, great.
This is great.
No problem. All right, very good. So if you could just mute yourself, that would be great. And all right, so let me give you a little bit of background information. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how the lottery is going to be run, how many different waiting lists there were, what to expect for next steps. Then I will do the actual drawing using random.org. For some of you, you may have come to past lotteries where we had to do it by manually removing cards from a box. It would take 6 hours sometimes. I think we had even more folks in this lottery. So had we proceeded in that fashion, the actual process of pulling numbers from the box would have gone on for hours and hours and hours. So I'm very glad this is the first one we've been able to do by using random.org. So the upside of that is that it'll be much, 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 much quicker in terms of doing the actual drawing. I guess the downside is it's a little harder to know in real time what exactly it means. We have many different households all mixed into the drawing that we're going to do. We have households who applied for different bedroom sizes at different income tiers. So as an example, if you're drawn 500th, let's just say, I'm just making up a number, that doesn't necessarily tell you exactly where you're going to be because you're mixed in with other households who applied for different sizes of units at different income tiers. So you won't actually know exactly where you are on the waiting list until after the lottery. And tomorrow we'll be spending a bunch of time sorting the results, creating the different waiting lists. And then in the next few days, we will send those out to everyone by email. You'll get them at the same time and you'll see where you are on the waiting list. And that'll really tell you kind of where you are relative to everyone else who was on that waiting list, and if and when you can sort of expect to get invited in the next forward in this process. The next step being to apply for a lease with the leasing office. So let me just give you a little bit of background info here. You don't have to memorize any of this or write it down. It'll be in the information that we send you when we send the waiting list. So we had 3,202 applications for this lottery. 516 of those applicants indicated that they lived or worked full-time in Somerville, therefore qualifying for preference on the different waiting lists. In total, there are 10 different waiting lists. The order on the waiting list, as I just mentioned, will be determined by where you're drawn in the lottery that we'll do using random.org and according to your preferences, if you have a local preference or not. Let me run through what the different waiting lists are going to be. So we have 2 studio apartments at 50% of AMI, 838 applicants, 128 local households. 1 one-bedroom at 50% of AMI, 1,237 applicants, 173 of whom had local preference. 1 two-bedroom apartment at 50% of AMI, 782 applicants, 109 of whom had local preference. 1 studio at 80% AMI, 470 applicants, 77 qualified for local preference. 1 one-bedroom at 80% of AMI, 787 applicants, 135 households qualified for local preference. Waiting list for 1 three-bedroom apartment at 80% AMI, 168 applicants, 39 qualified for local preference. We had a studio apartment, 110% AMI, 73 applicants, 13 local preference households. We had 1 three-bedroom apartment at 110% AMI, 23 applicants, 8 qualified for local preference. We had 1 three-bedroom disabled accessible apartment at 50% AMI. There were 514 applicants on that waiting list. There were actually only 4 households who had local preference who need the features of the unit, and 13 non-local households who need the features of the unit. Everyone else did not need the features, but as that was the only 3-bedroom at 50% AMI, even the folks who didn't need those special features are on that waiting list, but they'll be behind the folks who do need the special features. And lastly, we have a waiting list for 1 one-bedroom disabled accessible 80% AMI unit, 3 applicants, none of whom had local preference. Again, I know that was quick. There was a lot of numbers. Don't worry if you didn't digest it all. It'll be in the materials that in the waiting list that we send you, and you'll see where you are and how many people are on the waiting list and how many units there are. So you'll get that information soon. Okay, shortly now, soon I'll do the actual lottery drawing. I will share my screen and we will put all the lottery numbers into random.org, which is a website. It's a free website. It is true randomization. Other municipalities, including the city of Boston, where many lotteries for affordable units are run, they use this and other places do too. It's a great tool for randomization, and it's a click of a button and you have, the 3,202 lottery numbers will be randomized into a brand new order. After I do that, I might take a quick beat to send that to my colleague Catherine, who's also joined the call, so that, and I'll just ask for your patience, so that if and when households want to know where they were drawn in the random.org drawing, she can help me answer those questions. Again, it's over 3,000 households, so you won't be able to sort of see. It's too long a list to be able to scroll through it and for you to be able to say, oh, I was drawn 500th or I was drawn 900th.
Can you share a list on in through Zoom to all the participants? Is there a way to actually share information to the participants?
I'm going to screen share.
So that they could actually see it themselves and just do the search right there and then? I mean, I've never thought of that, but
Well, that's a good question. Let's try. We'll find out. That would be great. That'll certainly cut down on the questions and people can find it more quickly. If that doesn't work, we'll go with what we had originally planned, which is you can ask questions and we'll look it up for you. Okay. Let me just a quick bit about next steps. So we'll send you the waiting list. It'll be your lottery application number. Okay. So we won't use anyone's names. You'll just have to find the number that we sent to you when you got a notice saying, hey, you're eligible for the lottery. You'll find the number on the waiting list and you'll be able to see where you are. There will be some households highlighted in green. Those will be the top households in the first position or the first two positions. Those are the households essentially that are guaranteed a unit if they meet all the criteria, right? And that's a big if, because no households have been lease screened by the leasing office, where they look at items such as credit and tenant history and criminal background and some of the things that leasing offices look at. And also households haven't undergone the full program screening with SEB, where we have to see all your income and asset and tax documentation. So, if you have a high waiting list position, great. That doesn't necessarily guarantee you a unit. It just is better in terms of, being invited forward in the process. But don't give notice to your current landlord or anything like that, because there are still additional steps that you have to go through. But again, if you are in green, that just means you're guaranteed an opportunity to be invited forward. It doesn't guarantee you a unit. There are still additional steps. If you're program eligible with SEB and then you're lease eligible with the leasing office, then you'll coordinate with them on a move-in date. And I think that's all I'll say on that. So okay, let me see here. I have one more question. Sonia, I'm going to take this, then I'm going to ask that we hold off on any questions until we've done the actual drawing. And then I'm happy to take as many questions as people have. So Sonia, let me unmute you. Go ahead. Sonia, what's your question? Sonia? Oh.
Yes, I'm good. She did answer my question. Catherine, she did answer my question.
Oh, terrific. Terrific. Thanks. Yeah. And folks, if you haven't seen it already, there is the Q&A function, and Catherine can help answer those. So that's great. Thank you, Catherine. All right. Without further ado, let's do the actual drawing, and then happy to take questions on where people landed. So let me just give me a moment here. Oh, yeah, there's a question here. Sorry, of course.
you put the name of the email, it would say application number union 346. Yeah, does anybody, you guys all know your application numbers?
So there's a question from people here, folks online. So just hold on a second.
If you can't find it, you can look it up, but. And again, we can find it.
We can do that after. We can do that. So, okay, so let's do the drawing. So let's see here. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, okay, here are all my different lottery numbers. All right, so we got 3,202 of those, I think. And then, wait a second. A little trouble. Hold on a second, sorry. Much easier to do this on two screens. Apologize. Okay, sorry, online folks there. Just had to stop sharing screen so I could actually grab the window that I wanted. Okay, so you should be able to see that I've got random.org up, and here is my list of all the lottery households. So starting with A.0001, I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Okay, here's our last household. Copy them. Them in here. All right, so we got all of our households here. And I am gonna now hit randomize.
Lottery right there.
There it is. So before we do anything, let me just copy this. Just a minute. So that process right there used to take 6 hours. Now it took 0.6 seconds.
It took 6 hours and we had like 1,200 people in the lottery. There's 3,300.
Right.
It's taken 15 hours.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Put this in my sheet.
So no, so I mean, that's the thing, you don't know the categories in. You'll get see where you are on the waiting list when we do all the sorting. But like as an example there, like, let's look at the person who's drawn 13 there, A.1211. Or yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving. Jimmy, stop
No,
moving.
no, it's on the
Okay.
left-hand side.
Okay.
You know, there's 12 people drawn ahead of him, like A.1211, he's drawn 13th overall, there's 12 people ahead of him. If none of those 12 people apply for like a 2-bedroom unit.
Just
right,
one
and
second, folks
81
online. Just give me a second here.
He's the first who applied for a 2-bedroom at 50% AMI, and they have city of Somerville preference, they would be the first person on the waiting list. But you just can't know that because you don't know what everybody who's on the list. Right. So we have to kind of cross-reference it. So it's good to be drawn early, but, and similar.
I don't think they'll be able
If
to.
you were, when Dave was going through and talking about.
Because
local
it's
preference,
multiple, the screen doesn't capture the entire thing.
In Somerville,
I don't think that's gonna work.
and you say like, well, this list has.
Yeah.
210.
I'm just.
If you.
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, it's okay. So folks online, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, sorry, we got my colleague talking to the folks who are here too, so that's why I'm whispering. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Catherine, I'm going to email you the results. And then folks who are there, we're happy to take questions on where you were drawn. So just give me a second here. I'm gonna stop sharing.
So literally the last person in lottery who's drawn, if they have city of Somerville preference, is put on a waiting list ahead of the first person who's drawn, who doesn't have that preference. That's how those preference priorities work. So living and working in the city. So really effectively, these units go to people who live or work in Somerville initially, because, you know, the first 50, 100, 200 people on each list, depending on what the turnout was, are gonna be people who live or work full time in Somerville. David sharing all my personal.
Yep, sorry.
So what?
Go here.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to go to Gmail?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hold on. You gotta go, yeah, you gotta go over there.
All right, folks online here, just give me one more sec, sorry.
And so what was the question?
So you guys spoke with this, it'll take a few days to process and we get notified by email
On Monday.
on Monday.
We might try to get it maybe by tomorrow, but by Monday.
Okay.
You'll get an email. The email will have attachments, like if you are in the 80% income tier, the email will have links in each of the 80% waiting lists. Now, if you only qualify for, say, like the studio and the one bedroom, 80% waiting list, you're still gonna be sent, you know, the other 80% waiting list.
Okay, so for the
We'll open
folks
the
who
waiting
are
list.
online, do people have questions about where they were drawn? And Catherine, I assume that you were able to, I just emailed you the results so you can look them up too. So for folks who are online, I see some hands going up, so just give me one moment.
Based on the information you put in the application. So when you look at.
And you can put your questions in the Q&A, or you can put your hands up as you have been doing. Either is fine. Okay, so.
So if you pull that up, I can show you what that,
So Linda,
yeah.
Uh, you have a question.
Yes, hi, thank you. The first column that you just ran, what category was that?
You mean like which bedroom size and income
Yes.
tier?
Yes,
Yeah, so that's the thing. We don't do it by bedroom size and income tier. What we do is we take every single household who was in the lottery,
okay,
regardless what bedroom size or income tier they applied for. We lump them all together. We put them in random.org. It spits out this new list. Then tomorrow we have to sort that onto the different waiting lists, Linda. So like, for example, I'll start with, maybe I start with the, what is it, a studio 50% list. And I have an Excel spreadsheet and I'll sort it and I'll say, who were all of the households who applied for a studio 50% list? I only want to see them. Then I'll say, where were they drawn and which of them had local preference? I'll take those households, I'll put them on the waiting list. Then I'll say, where were all the households who didn't have local preference drawn? And I'll take them according to where they were drawn in random.org and put them on the waiting list. Then I'll unsort it, Linda, and I'll move on to the next list, the one bedroom 50%. And I'll do that same thing where I sort it and I say, okay, who are all the households who have local preference who applied for a one bedroom 50% unit? Where were they drawn in the random.org? And I'll take those households and I'll populate the waiting list. So, it's admittedly, as a viewer, it's a little less clear, but it's much quicker, and we can just do it on the back end. Okay.
I see. Thank you so much.
You got it. Let's see here. I have a question from Zelda B, I think. Zelda, do you have a question?
Let's see.
Yeah, I came in a little late and so will I get an email what number I am in the lottery?
Do you already know your lottery application number, Zelda?
No, I didn't get any of that.
Okay, hold on a second, Zelda. Let me see if
You hear my question and answer, Nikki?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Zelda, is your last name start with an L?
It's Barboza.
Oh, it's Barboza. Okay, so not. I don't see that name. Did you definitely apply for the lottery, Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get an email confirmation that says you're in the lottery and here's your lottery application number?
I don't know if I think I got it at first, and then I don't know what happened with my email because I got that it was all set. It was in the they got my application, and then I was entered in the lottery, and then I set up for the a Zoom, but then it was changed to April. And
Okay,
then I contacted someone yesterday and then they told me, oh yeah, they looked my name up, I guess, and they say, oh, it's gonna happen today. So the next step is happening today, and then that's why I came.
okay, Zelda, here's what I think we should do. I have a database of all the lottery households. I'm not seeing your name. So what I'd like you to do is to email us, or you can call us.
Mm-hmm.
The email is info@sebhousing.com.
Yeah,
You have that? Just send us an email. And then we can work it out from there, okay?
that's where I got the information. They looked up my information and found my
Nikki, can you
lottery.
look online real quick? info@seb.com.
info@sebhousing.com.
Oh,
So Zelda, send us an email and we'll work it out with you. I'm not seeing it in the database.
Okay.
Possible a mistake happened, and if it did, we can correct it. But what I'll need you to do is to send us the confirmation email that you got showing that you were in the lottery. So let's do that. And you can send us an email tonight or tomorrow or whenever it works for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next household, Jezebel. Jezebel, what
in
is
the
your
Bible.
question?
Hi, I was just checking to see how I can verify that you guys have the correct email for me, just because I had an issue with that in the past. It's always spelled wrong.
Okay, can you send
Give
an
you,
email to the info@sebhousing.com account from the email address that you want us to use?
I can,
Is that,
because would it show up if I just give you my first name and then I can just give you my first initial or the number that I
you
was
mean right
assigned?
now?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have access, I can just email.
Yeah, it'll be much easier if you don't mind, if you can just send us that email.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
When I get
taking
back
away
to my
from the
office,
lottery.
I can update it. Okay,
Okay, I could do that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
and if
you.
you're folks, if you don't mind just muting yourself until I call on you, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hey, let's contact number real quick before, that's what you wanted to know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Hold
on
on,
mute.
folks online, just one second. I'm just gonna help another gentleman here.
You up there talking trash about people and they not
002.
sit.
Looks like 2,217. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry.
All good.
All right.
You'll have a nice one.
All right. You too.
Dead day for this one too.
Okay, folks online, just one more sec here. A.3153. $702. Yep.
700 people driving for you.
Okay, so sorry, coming back to the folks online here. Looks like we got a hand up from Eileen. Eileen, go ahead. What's your question?
Hi, so I was just curious on how the lottery works. So, wait, are you able to hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so once we get placed into like under a certain number by tonight, we're placed under a different list by Monday.
Yeah, it's so there are 10 different waiting lists for the different unit sizes and income tiers. And when we do the drawing, which I did, and I know it was pretty fast, we basically take every single household that was in the lottery, regardless what bedroom type they applied for and what income tier they applied for. So we mix them all in. And then as I was explaining to the other woman, tomorrow we will go in after the fact and sort all, that's fine, sort all those households onto the different waiting lists according to where they were drawn tonight and what their preferences are. And I think the only preference is if you have local preference, living or working full-time in Somerville, and for the disabled accessible units, if you need those features, you would get preference on those lists. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answered my question. If I give you my application number, are you able to tell me where, like, what number I am?
Definitely.
Okay, it is going to be. I'm sorry, one second. 3384.
2,123.
2193.
23. Again, that's just where you were drawn. That's not where you are on a waiting list. You won't know that information for a few days until we've made those and sent out the results.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
You got it. Okay. And I see there's some Q&A questions, and I'm just hopefully Catherine's getting to those, but I'm just taking the hand up questions as I see them. Once there are no more hands up, I will go over to the Q&As and try and help answer those. So, all right, Staff Senator Eldridge office. You are up. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm under work count. But just really wanted to ask really quickly if you could check 3373 for me.
3373?
Yes.
Sure. 2,482.
Thank you.
You got it. And let's see here. I think the next up is Sonia Yahi. Go ahead.
Yeah, just I want to know what number I am.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your number?
A
Oh, you
zero.
don't know your number.
No, I know my lottery number. I just
Oh.
want to know in the waiting list. Yeah.
Yeah.
80534.
Wait. A0534?
Yes.
Got it. 370.
370. Thank
Yep,
you.
You got it. And Maya Ochoa, go ahead. Maya, go
Hello?
ahead. Yep.
Hello? Sorry, it was making me click something. I just wanted to clarify that I understood. So this lottery put everybody on a wait list. And so essentially, if you're the first person on the wait list in whatever section that you line up with, you like win like the first application to get in. Is that how this works?
If you're the first number on a waiting list, you're guaranteed an invite forward to complete the program certification with SEB. And if you are
Okay.
eligible at that review, then you would go on to the leasing office to do a leasing office review.
Okay. Can I just ask you, because I have my number as well. Sorry.
Sure.
It's 2440.
2,042.
Thank you.
You got it.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Sasha, go ahead, Sasha.
Oh, hello. Thank you. I was just hoping to find out the same thing by telling you my number.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much. My number, my application number is A2501.
826.
Thank you.
You got it. Just give me one sec here. All right, next hand up I see is Fedna Luma. Go ahead. Fedna, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
Okay. No, I had the same questions. I was wondering if you can check for me too.
Sure. What's your number?
My application number is 0220.
1,992.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it. And again, folks, just a reminder, being drawn earlier is better, but where, my telling you where you were drawn really doesn't tell you where you're going to be on a wait list, just as a reminder. Okay, so let's see here. I think the next up was Ashley. Ashley, go ahead.
Yes, hi. I was wondering where I landed. My number is 2393.
2393. 220, Ashley.
Okay, thank you so much.
You got it. Okay. And let's go to this one doesn't have a name. It's Samsung SMT 500. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Yep. Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I just want to know my number is 82869. Is it drawn or no?
Yeah, you're it was drawn 2,391st.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right. Next is going to be Latifa Marachi. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry, Latifa, if I said it wrong. Go ahead, Latifa. Oh, Latifa, you there? Latifa? Okay, not sure. I'll move on, but put your hand back up if you want to come back to that question. Let's go to Liz Marie Ruiz. Liz Marie, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I just wanted to know my number as well. I came in a little late. I have A0475.
243rd.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right. Diomira, go ahead.
Hi, can you tell me where 2912 was drawn?
2,797th.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Brianna.
Hi, I was just calling, seeing where I am on the list.
Yep. Yeah. What's your number?
It's A0565.
172nd.
Okay, so that means I'm on the waiting list now for the unit.
Everyone's on a waiting list.
Okay.
It's just a question of where. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know where you'll be. We'll figure that out tomorrow, and you'll get those results fairly soon.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Okay, here. Let's see here. Beck Kundruti. Wait a second. Go ahead, Beck.
Hi, could I please ask for 2361?
2361. 2361 was drawn 1,416th.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. And let's do Cristardi Guerrero. Oh, wait a second. I hit the wrong one. Darn it. Liz Marie, I think I went to you, but go ahead. Oh, these are jumping around. Okay, I'm going to go back to Cristardi. Cristardi Guerrero, go ahead. Cristardi?
Yes, I want to see where I listed for 2461.
Oh, 2461, sure. 3,164.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Let's go to Jezebel. Go ahead, Jezebel.
I want the same famous question answered.
Yeah, have at it.
A.0927.
936.
Thank you.
You got it. And let's go with Linda Hardiman. Go ahead, Linda.
Yes, my application number is A1901.
That's going to be 495th.
Thank you.
You got it. And let's see here. Sasha?
Hi, yes. I just came in a little late. I found out my number within the lottery, but could you explain to me how it works and what the next step is?
Yeah, sure. So we did the random.org drawing of all 3,202 lottery households. Tomorrow, we will sort those households onto the 10 different waiting lists. Every household who was in the lottery will be on a waiting list. The only question is where you're going to be. Where the order in which your number was drawn in the lottery is one factor that determines where you'll be on a waiting list, but also it's influenced by whether you have local preference or not. And also keep in mind that the random.org drawing we did included all 3,000 plus households. So it's really, where you are on a waiting list is determined by, where the other households who applied for that same waiting list were drawn and what preferences they have. So we'll send those waiting lists in the next few days. You'll see where you are on the waiting list. And then if you have a high enough position, you'll be invited to move forward. If you don't, you'll have to wait and see what happens with the households ahead of you.
Great. Thank you so much.
You got it. And let's see, Elvin's iPhone. Go ahead, Elvin. Elvin, you there? Elvin, do you have a question? Okay, maybe not. Let's go to, let's see here. Sarah Pierce. Sarah, go ahead. Sarah?
Dave, I think I already answered that one.
Oh, you did? Okay. And I don't know, folks, if you already have your question answered, if you can put your hand down, that would be great. That would be helpful. Thank you. Let's see here. Tahira Peralta? Okay, I'm going to go back to Cristardi. Cristardi Guerrero, go ahead.
I just wanted to know where I was drawing. My number is 0887.
Cristardi? Yes, I want to see where I listed for
Oh,
24.
someone is replaying. 380th.
3,100.
388?
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
You got it. Let's go to Jezebel. Go ahead, Jezebel.
Okay, listening to myself is horrible. This has got someone please stop that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute everyone. Let's see. That's Linda. Linda, I got you. You're muted. All right. All right, Diomira. Do you have a question, Diomira? Oh, hand is down. Okay. Let's go to let's see here. Winona. Winona, what's your question? Winona?
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Oh, hi. I would like to also ask the same question.
Yeah, what's your number?
1784.
1,435.
Thank you.
You got it. And let's see here. Jen's iPhone. Jen?
Hi, I would like to know the same question. My application is A3122.
1,772.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You got it.
Did you try to send it the results, by the way? No? Got to.
To all the households?
I mean, how many people are still asking? A lot?
There aren't that many hands up. Let me get through the hands and then, okay. Melanie Pena, go ahead. Melanie? Melanie? Okay, let's go to Arlene Lammy. Arlene, you have a question?
Hi, yeah, I was just trying to figure out my number. I didn't know if my question was going through, or where I was drawn, but my application number was A2966.
3,030.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. let's see. And TCL T430W. That's TCL T430W.
Go up in the password again to see if maybe I can. Or you close enough to being done here that.
There's how many more hands are up? There's a few more hands up, and then I'll take a
Okay.
break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jen's iPhone. Did we get your question? Has your question been answered? Jen? Okay. I'm just getting through a few more of these. Let's see here. See, this is just iPhone. Go ahead, iPhone. Bastard on mute.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
All good. I was just wondering, like when I first applied, I was living in Revere, but I'm currently living in Somerville. So would that affect, or can I don't know, change it? Or is it too late? I don't know.
Yeah, it's at the time that you applied. So unfortunately, if you didn't qualify for local preference, then we can't change it now.
Oh, all right, no problem.
Sorry about that.
All right, can you check also my number?
Yep.
All right, 37.
Is it 0037?
Yep.
Yep. 3085.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, just a few more hands here. Jasmine. Jasmine? Go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to check my number 2725.
Yep. 1004.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. Bianca Sainterline.
My application number is 3154.
You were drawn 1148th.
Repeat again.
1148th.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Okay, I got Latifa Marachi. Latifa, you have a question?
Yes, can you please check for me
Yep.
the number?
Yep, what's your number?
It's 0625.
1111.
1111.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Is Catherine caught up too? Because people putting in the question, like they could be asking her too through chat.
I mean, she's answered 67, but there are 43 still open.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I could get on.
Try the hotspot again. It's working from my computer now.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. A few more hands up. Nicole Maldonado. Nicole, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. How are you? My application number is A2860.
Hold on, you've got to get
689th
600
and 89th.
and 89. Sorry, my English is not better. 60 or 60?
No, 689.
689. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You got it. You got it. Let's see here.
Okay, it should be working.
And let's go to Jaleesa. Jaleesa, go ahead.
Hi, my application number is A2514.
807th.
All right, 807th, you said?
Yep.
807? Okay, thank you.
You got it. And let's see here. I think the last hand I see up is Isabel S. Isabel, go ahead. Isabel? Isabel, do you have a question? Looks like you've unmuted yourself, but I can't hear anything. You can also put your question in the Q&A if your volume's not working.
So you know this? I can't the Zoom from my I don't know the password from my.
Yes, I do.
It's like, yeah,
All right, hold on one sec, folks. All right, Isabel, I'm not hearing you, so I'm going to put your hand down, but put it back up if you still want to ask a question. Give me one sec here, folks.
it's like I thought it was like worse than a phone call.
It
or
is,
something.
it is, but then I don't. It's like I don't remember what number.
There's a number on
I
it.
think there's a number and
Okay.
an exclamation point. I feel pretty good about what I have in there. All right, Sarah Pierce, go ahead.
Hi, sorry about earlier. I had to set my
That's
permission
okay.
so I could unmute. So I was just wondering, so my number, it's not my position on the list, is what you're saying?
Right, right. It impacts where you'll be on the list, but it's not your position on the waiting list. That you'll get from us in the next few days.
Okay, alrighty. And I think I overheard you saying something about like the units, the number of units, or I read that. Are you able to say how many units are available?
Yeah, it was 11, I think.
Okay, alrighty. And the people at the top of the list, or however you arrange them, would be the ones that set the preference to live in Somerville, or they currently live there. They would be at the top of the list, how you arrange it, right?
Correct. When
Okay.
we populate the waiting list, the folks who live or work full-time in Somerville will be the, higher on the list than all the folks who don't.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you.
You got it. Okay, here, let's see. I have a hand up from Jean Nicholas Thomas. Jean, go ahead. Jean, go ahead if you have a question. Nope. Jean, you there?
Hello.
Okay, hold on one second. All right, Jean, I'm gonna put your hand down. I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't speak English. My number
Yep.
is 2636.
Very I'm gonna mute this.
61st. 61.
What?
61.
61?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Carla.
Hi, can you please check my number?
Yep.
It's 0400.
734.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Okay, I don't see any more hands up, so let me go over into the Q&A here and see if I can help. Catherine. There we go. answer questions here. Okay, so we've got 30. All right, folks, and I'm just being silent here because I'm not seeing any hands and I'm just answering questions in the Q&A. So I've seen my number at 2 and applied for 1 bedroom. Okay, so. Oh, hi, Sky. So the question is, applied for 1 bedroom, 50%. How many applications were sent in? Sorry, that's on the other laptop. I don't know exactly how many it was a few hundred, but when we send you the waiting list, you'll see exactly how many there were. You'll see where you are on the list compared to all those other households. So we will get you that information soon, but I know it was a few hundred. Okay, how do we know where we stand currently? This is anonymous. How do we know where we stand currently? Good question. You don't know where you stand currently. Being drawn earlier in the lottery is better, but we need to sort the results onto the different waiting lists. And until you get those, when you get those waiting lists, you'll be able to see exactly where you are. But so you're gonna have to just be patient, wait a few days. We'll send those to you and you'll be able to see exactly where you stand. Okay, question from Nicole. Has the draw already taken place? Yes, Nicole, it already took place. I think you may have put your hand up. I think I answered it. So hopefully you already got your answer. So we're done with that one. Question from an anonymous attendee. What do the lottery numbers mean? The lottery numbers, it's just a random number. It's basically the order that your application was received relative to other applications, but it doesn't have any significance beyond that other than to keep your name and information anonymous for the lottery drawing. Who exactly are prioritized for the units from an anonymous attendee? For the most part, households who live in Somerville or work full time in Somerville will get preference on the waiting lists. And for the units, there's 2 units that have accessible features. Households who need the accessible features will get priority on those lists as compared to households who don't need the accessible features. Another question from anonymous attendee. How many total applicants are there? There were 3,202 applications for this lottery. Okay, anonymous attendee, how do we find out about the wait lists? Yep, we'll send those out by email and those will go out in the next few days. I don't know exactly, maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. We'll get them out as soon as we can. It's over 3,000 households. We have to do a big MailChimp blast out to everyone, but we'll get those to you as soon as we can. There's a question here from Smith. One question, please. But Smith, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the question is. So please go ahead and type what the question is. I'll be happy to answer that. Good evening. Are you guys providing more info after questions, or are we okay to exit and wait for Monday's update? Yep. Anonymous attendee, you are fine to leave. If you have questions, we can answer them, but otherwise we will get you the results, the waiting lists in the next few days. A question, anonymous attendee, does a high number mean I'm going to get a high number for the waiting list? Nope, it's just totally random based on when we received your application. Has no significance beyond that. Screws, can you check number 3088? Yes, I can. 3088 was drawn 619th. Naomi, hi, my name is Naomi. Can you please answer my question? Yes, but I don't know what your question is. Happy to answer a question, but you got to tell me what it is. Be happy to answer it. Okay. Question from Sarah. May apply to other places too, being 3,000 makes. Yeah, so there's a question here about if you can apply to other places. Yes, you may. That is fine. You're not constricted to just applying for one lottery. How many apartments are available? I believe it was 11. So just type that one. What if you work full-time and live in Somerville with kids? Does it make you more eligible? So basically, if you meet both of the local preference criteria, no. If you meet either, you get local preference. But meeting both does not give you more preference. All right, so no more open questions. Got Julie's iPhone hand up. Go ahead, Julie. You got a question? Julie? Julie, there? All right, sorry, Julie, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to put your hand down. I don't see any hands up. Let's see, there's one thing. There's one thing in the chat from Brian. There's one Q&A. Ah, okay. Let's see here, Naomi. Where are you? Yeah, go ahead, Naomi. You should be unmuted now. I'm asking you to unmute, Naomi. Are you getting?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
had it muted myself.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Naomi.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you could hear me. I've been typing. So my question is, I just want you to check my number.
Yeah.
That's,
What's your number?
let's see. I'm sorry, just a second. I have it here. Okay, so it's gonna be A2520.
2520?
Yeah.
2,479.
All right. So what does it mean? Is that I mean the like the line, or what does it
Yeah,
mean?
you're drawn
Because
pretty
you mentioned
late.
that you're supposed to have the email tonight.
Yeah,
What?
it's not gonna go out tonight, okay? We still have to sort the results tomorrow. And then we'll try and get them out, I think, by Monday. That's, being drawn 2,000 plus means you're probably not gonna have a super high waiting list position. You'll probably be a little bit further down on each, whichever waiting list you're on. I don't know exactly where yet. That's what we do when we sort the results onto the waiting list. So the answer is I'm just gonna, once we've done that sort, we'll know. But until
Which
then,
is happening on Monday, right?
yeah, we're gonna do it tomorrow, and we'll try and get you that
tomorrow.
information by, I think, Monday.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got it. Okay.
Dave, Mackenzie is asking for number 2584, and I'm not seeing it on the list, so I wasn't sure if you could check elsewhere to see if that number was removed as a duplicate and maybe another one was reissued. Just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. Is my screen's not sharing right now, is it, Catherine?
No, not
Okay.
sharing.
might be people, Dave, when if you can't find the application number, they probably were a duplicate.
Yeah.
And they're sent a separate notice if that number was removed.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, let's see if I can find it this way. Okay, so it looks like Mackenzie A.1996 is the one we're using for Mackenzie. A.1996. So that was drawn
974th, it looks like.
974th.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll type it in as well.
Yeah, make it clear that they should have that notification of what the number was and wasn't, right?
Yeah, Mackenzie. So it looks like we had a duplicate from you. So we used one of the numbers, but not both, because you can't be in the lottery twice. So you should have had an email from us saying, you know, basically that. But the number that you're going to be looking for was that one I just read out. Okay. Where is Julie?
You go to Q&A, you'll see that the SAR is still muted. If you just hit
Yeah. Oh, I can do it here. Julie. So Julie, Julie, I'm showing that you're not muted, so I think it's something on your end. I'm asking you to unmute. Yep. It doesn't look like you're muted on my end, Julie, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Do you want to? Julie, maybe you can put your question in the Q&A. I don't know if there's an issue with your phone. Okay, got another question. A2636. Okay, and Julie, there you are. Yeah, I just want to know my place, 1757. Okay, so A2636. 61st. And then Julie, 1757. Okay, 2,770. All right. Are there any other questions? Smith. Smith, go ahead.
Hello.
Yep.
My number for 82584.
2584?
25884.
2584. I'm not seeing that one. Did you have a different number? Maybe you applied twice?
Right?
Did you have a different lottery number because you may have applied more than once and we only put one of them in the
Right.
lottery?
Mackenzie, my wife.
Okay, so yeah, you can't submit more than one. Was that the one I just answered, Mackenzie? That sounds familiar. Did I just answer that one?
That Mackenzie.
You're Mackenzie?
No, me, Smith Mo, Mackenzie and my wife.
Okay. So I think we may have put her
Why,
number.
Mackenzie not speak English. All right.
Okay. So did she have a different lottery number?
My number,
Mc-
my phone number.
No. Your wife's Mackenzie. I think we just answered her question. She had the A.1996, right?
Okay.
Right? And so we
Thank you.
told her, yeah, okay. Okay, any other questions? There's one in the Q&A. Oh, you getting that one, Bri? Okay. Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, but this the keypad, it's like, I thought it would be important that this thing started.
All right. I don't see any other questions. So just, we're gonna give it one last call here. Any other questions? If not, we're not going anywhere. You can certainly email us, call us if you have additional questions. But it looks like that's it. So we will draw this to a close. Thanks for your attendance. Thanks for your interest. And we'll be in touch soon with the results. Thanks, everyone.
There's one more, Dave.
One more. A3159.
Like 1329.
Yeah, 1329. All right, I think that's it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Appreciate it.